People of Reddit, what is a surprisingly unknown survival fact that everyone should know? You can squeeze relatively safe water out of moss. Obviously you should still boil it, and it's going to have some dirt, but it's way better than drinking out of a steam or puddle. Just to be clear, you should always boil water, but if you can't for whatever reason, moss water bigger than stream. What is in a stream that won't be killed from boiling it? Salts, poop, pee, chemicals that turn the frogs gay, you know. What was that last one? Pee. This is the best one word comment. Haircut. Agent Rainbow. Big money salvia. Also known as atrazine. A lot of modern outdoorsy backpacks have whistles built into the clips on the straps across your chest. Not many people notice/know about these. Save your voice whistle for help/ward off animals. Some school backpacks have this too. Took my child 5 minutes to discover it after we got home. I was not impressed. I thought the thing was just a plastic pull tab. That would be a rape whistle. In case a bear tries to rape me. Especially if a bear tries to rape you. Unless you're into that kind of thing. All the bears I know are gentlemen. Wait, do bears also have rape whistles? In case I want to rape a bear. The only known successful bear rape was carried out by Daniel Boone in 1771 and witnessed by Shawnee Indians. Apparently, after realizing that it was a male bear, Boone had to be stopped from apologizing and asking if he could date the bear's sister. As a result, he was given the name Shawaskushi by the local tribe, which loosely translates as "don't drop the soap if you're sharing a shower with me." Yo, WTF. Mud all over your body keeps you from being eaten alive by insects. Just in case you're ever stranded in the Botanist. It also helps keep solicitors at a safe distance. Just in case you're ever stranded in an urban area. It feels like someone wants to sell me something. I told you he was onto us. Oh, that type of solicitor. I was gonna say, this means something quite different in Britain. If you ever fall into freezing water and need to warm up fast, don't rub your arms. I know it's instinctive to do so. Put your hands and arms near your core and heat up your chest first. That will keep you from going into hypothermic shock. Liam Neeson taught us this in Batman Begins. Your arms will take care of themselves. Batman Begins, not Returns. I had to look up if Liam Neeson was in Batman Returns and thought maybe my memory was finally going kaput. I think he was the Penguin. Yes, he has grown a lot since then. If you are stranded in a desert with many cacti in the area, don't eat one right away, as some could be poisonous. Instead, cut it open and place a small amount on the inner part of your lower lip, and wait a few minutes to an hour. If it swells up or causes inflammation, don't eat it, because it will kill you. If it does do this, then there's a good chance it won't hurt you if you eat it. Directions unclear. I just pierced my lip with 3 needles. Did it swell up within 1 hour? No, but my erection has lasted all day and it hurts. Finally, I can meaningfully contribute to. I have a list actually. No matter where you are in the world, it's likely that you'll find beer bottles in the woods. Broken glass makes one hell of a good impromptu knife. Evergreen trees, pine, spruce, cedar, balsam, are one of the greatest resources you can be blessed with. Pine nuts taste good and are very nutritious. Squirrels love to hang out in them, so they offer good trapping or hunting locations. The inner bark of all species of pine can be eaten even in the dead of winter. Resin from these trees makes amazing glue and is antiseptic, so use it to seal cuts. Fluffed up pine needles will catch fire very easily if they are dead and dry. The roots make fairly durable and strong rope by themselves, or can be braided. And you can easily make a friction fire from one tree. Fishing without fish hooks and proper line is almost always a waste of time. You're better off spending your energy catching frogs and making traps for animals that come to the water's edge to drink. Crushed up charcoal added to drinking water can help get rid of the swampy taste. That's all for now. I have more, but I don't wanna spam, so let me know if you all want more. I want more. Heard this from a cop friend. If somebody is ever trying to take you, or puts a gun or knife to you to get you away in a public place, you just got to start screaming and fighting. Even if you're shot or stabbed, at least medical attention can get to you relatively fast. If they manage to get you someplace private, your chances of rescue decrease. Maybe not super unknown, but a good survival tip to remember. Most times they expect you to just listen because you're afraid of bodily harm. Once you're out of the public eye though, they can do damn near whatever they want to you. You stop that by doing what they don't expect. Make a lot of noise, a lot of movement. Bring the attention of the public to you, and more importantly them. If there isn't anyone obviously there, that is an empty street at night, you're likely to get stabbed or shot and mugged on the spot, which is better because you're in street view and not tucked into an alleyway where passers-by won't see you. If there's a likelihood of witnesses, they will probably run off because it's better to be caught attempting to steal rather than having stolen and or inflicted bodily harm/murder. Since it's less serious, they are more likely to get away with it. Conventional wisdom with mugging is to do whatever you're told. I've traveled plenty in Latin America and have heard countless stories of guys getting clobbered, stabbed, or stomped because they tried to make a scene or resist robbery. Don't underestimate the desperation of someone who's using a gun to rip off iPhones and fossil watches. I think this advice only applies to attempted kidnapping. Rule of sevens. The amount of radiation present after a nuclear explosion decreases with every 7-fold increment of time after the first hour. After 7 hours, radiation will be a tenth of what it was immediately after detonation. After 49 hours, radiation will be a tenth of that amount, and so on. Providing the place you end up in still has its walls/roof intact, your best chance for survival is to make it as airtight as possible and wait. No amount of radiation is safe, but the longer you are able to stay put before moving, the better. When you finally leave, try to pick the calmest weather to move in. More wind present means more irradiated particles flying around. Cover yourself head to toe in as much gear as you can to limit exposure, and head in the opposite direction to the blast epicenter. When arriving at a more suitable location, remove all garments exposed to the element and either wash thoroughly or bag and discard them. Wash your skin and hair as best as you are able. Radiation is nasty and definitely something you want to be aware of if you manage to survive the hellfire and cyclonic wind. Also, never use conditioner after exposure. It's a great way to make things 10 times worse. Can I ask why? It helps the particles not only get practically glued to your hair and scalp, but it'll also attract more particles for the few days after applying. Neat. Thanks. If you're waiting to turn across traffic and there's traffic going around you, keep your damn wheels straight. If someone rams you from behind, you're going in the direction your wheels are pointing. If you're pointing straight, you'll just get shunted forward. If you've started turning, you're getting pushed into oncoming traffic. If you're sliding on ice, turn into the slide to correct it. Do not turn in the opposite direction of the slide, you'll start drifting. I didn't believe this until I started sliding to the right, and when I cranked my wheel to the right, my car magically corrected itself. It's called an inertia drift, I think. This is true, but the best advice to hammer into people is not to slam on the brakes. That will make things much worse. Modern stability control systems also do a pretty impressive job of correcting, within reason, as they are able to independently work all 4 brakes once they sense that the car is no longer pointing in the correct direction. Better than most drivers manage, anyway. Laughs in broken wheel speed sensors. When you go into a building, always look for your main exit and a backup exit. If you need to evacuate quickly, you will know where to go and won't get lost in the herd. Stairwells, bank vaults, and freezers are safe places to be during a tornado if you can't get underground. All are better reinforced than other parts of a building and are typically what remains standing after a tornado. It's weird how second nature this gets to be. I'm an ex-journalist and never did time in a war zone, but did have a lot of friends who did, and subconsciously I apparently do it without realizing. I was at a posh restaurant a few months ago waiting for a friend at the bar when a big car crash happened right outside. As soon as the boom happened, without even thinking about it, I leapt off the bar stool, grabbed the arm of another woman sitting next to me, and had us halfway to an emergency exit before my brain went, perhaps the socially appropriate thing to do here is to pause and see if it's actually a terrorist attack or not. I guess all those times I went drinking with paranoid folks paid off, or just turned me into a weirdo. Time will tell, I guess. What did the woman do? We laughed about it, but TBH we were both a little impressed with ourselves. All the guys in the bar had stood up and looked around like what, and meanwhile us ladies were loitering out the door calmly and briskly like doody-doo. I like to think if it had been some mean act, I'd have tried to grab a few more people, but who knows, maybe I'd have just ghosted the place. I guess you never know until it happens. I want to have the same mind you did to at least grab one person and try to save them. I'd love to be able to be the one who is there directing people to safety, but in an emergency it's hard to say.